After her election victory in November, California Assembly member Esmeralda Soria is already working to fight for the interests of California's 27th Assembly District in Sacramento, including her efforts to reopen a shuttered hospital in Madera. Joining me now to discuss her work at the Capitol is Assembly member Soria. First of all, thank you so much for being with us on Sunday Morning Matters. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right, let's talk about something that's been very topical the last couple of weeks and devastating, all the other words you want to use. What is your reaction to the wildfires in Southern California that started almost 2 weeks ago? Specifically, the response from the state, Cal OES. What did you like about that effort in response? And is there anything you think should have been handled differently?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, my heart really goes out to all those that have been impacted in Southern California by these wildfires. We know the level of devastation is unprecedented. I believe there's about 12,000 structures that were impacted, 40,000 acres, essentially eliminated. And if we look at that, the size of the devastation, that would be about 2/3 of the city of Fresno. So my heart goes out to them, but we know that we have a lot of work ahead to make sure that we are rebuilding, helping rebuild Southern California, because after all, we're all Californians. And so, I'm proud to, one, represent the Valley and stand in support of helping our neighbors out in Southern California to make sure that we expedite any relief, expedite investment so that we can, one, clean up the devastation and then get to work immediately to make sure that we start rebuilding these communities, bring back the schools, build the churches, make sure that we're building these small businesses that were all also the small businesses and the housing that was destroyed. And so I'm very, very glad that the governor announced very swiftly that we were also going to be discussing this during special session. I think that it requires us to be thoughtful, but act with a sense of urgency, because we know that there are thousands of families that have left displaced, thousands of businesses that have been impacted. And so I'm looking forward to having those conversations very quickly so that we ensure that the investments get out the door as soon as possible. As someone that has represented a community like Planada, who just 2 years ago experienced also very devastating impacts by the major flooding, I know very intimately how my colleagues feel, how these families out there in Southern California are struggling because they've lost everything. And so I know that it's going to take time, just like it's taken time in the community of Planada and Merced County.
Let's turn to something else that is very personal for you. Let's turn to the latest on the Madera Hospital project. You ran on your fight to get it open again. It has been closed since December of 2022 and has had its reopening delayed. How was the effort to reopen it going, and when can your constituents expect to be able to be treated at that facility if need be?
Yeah, if you drive up and down the 99, you will see that there's been a lot of changes over the last year that have come to the hospital. There have been, major efforts to revitalize that hospital. And so I'm very proud of the work that I've been able to do in the 2 years. Quickly within the first 150 days, I was able to secure $150 million, one, to help Madera reopen, but also to keep other hospitals from closing, just like our neighbors down in the South Valley, Cahuilla Delta. Cahuilla Delta equally received over $20 million to be able to keep their doors open. And Madera received the highest award, which was $57 million. And so our office has been working very closely with a new operator to make sure that we can reopen as quickly as we can. Obviously, there are a lot of different layers and check boxes that they have to meet and do, both from local, state, and federal. And so we've been working hand in hand with this new group to ensure that they can reopen the doors this year in 2025. We're excited about the reopening, and you guys will be the first to know when we have that final date, but we are getting closer to that. The hospital already, the group has made significant efforts to interview workers, because we need, not just the doctors and the nurses, we need the janitors, the security, those that are going to be there staffing the ER room 24/7, and so they've made significant efforts to hire, I believe, about 300 workers. So if you drive any day down the 99, you will see dozens of cars already there in the hospital, making sure that they get it up and running, so that they're checking all the boxes, so that when they open the doors, families from Madera and the surrounding communities can feel the confidence that the hospital will provide them not just the care they need, but the quality care that they deserve.